Hello everyone, this is Stefan from Lush and Salty Aquariums. I wanted to give an update on my tiniest aquarium. It's actually my daughter's. I set it up for her. She got this Aqueon Edgelit cube as a birthday present and immediately turned it over to me to set up in her room for obvious reasons. So this is what I did. I put a piece of spider wood in for a centerpiece. I broke up a moss ball into three smaller ones and created this sort of frontal arrangement. I put in some Japanese clover. I don't know the technical name for that plant. I don't know the technical names for most of the creatures in my tanks, but that's an easy grower. It can float and be planted. Speaking of floating, I put in some of my frog bit. I have different sizes of it. Creates a lovely downward root structure, and it helps filter the water. There's some guppy grass there, and then in the back is a floating moss ball, which is, she bought that, my daughter did, for the tank, and I modified it by putting a fishing weight at the bottom so it would, and then suspending the moss ball by anchoring it with that fishing weight, which I somewhat submerged and crazy glued to a little rock. So it's kind of hovering there. I think it's a bit big for this tank, but my daughter loved it, and it is hers after all. As per my way, I like things sticking out of the tank, and so the wood does that. If I wanted to, I could put some air plants here or let a vine crawl up. I still might, but I don't have a lot of real estate to work with. Now the fish in here, I'm super limited, but I've got a couple Endler fry and then a couple Least Killifish fry, both live bearers and super tiny. I can't even find them with the camera, for God's sake. I've got a ram's horn snail and a few cherry shrimp as well. And they're all doing fine. I'm using a sponge filter, the smallest one I could get. And that's basically the lay of the land. I wish I could find the fish to show you. Ah, there's one. You see, there's a little, I think that's an Endler fry. And I'd love to find, there's a Least Killifish in the back. All right, there he is. Those fish can tolerate small tanks and diverse conditions. Although I do have a tiny heater, so I mean, these conditions are good. It's just a small tank. Anyway, I hope you enjoy. Oh, lastly, of course, the Edgelit. That's what they charge you the premium price for. It has these little like disco lights at the bottom, which provide no natural benefit to any of the life forms, but I guess they sort of look cool, especially to a teenager. Always keep your hands in the tank.